Life becomes so easy when things get automated. It also makes us lazy too, but I wouldn't mind if things get ready themselves. Like Siri reading what's the weather going to be today when I wake up early in the morning, my lights being switched off automatically after I leave home, my selfies being automatically posted to various accounts, and reminders popping for important things. Well, this is Vinay, and today this video is about the cool new app in the market. It is IFT. If this, then that. IFT is a free web-based service that people use to create chains of simple conditional statements called applets. An applet is triggered by changes that occur within our web services such as Gmail, Facebook, Instagram, or Pinterest, and many others. For example, an applet may send an email message if the user tweets using a hashtag, or a copy of photo to your user's archive if someone tags the user in a photo. If this then that is based on the if then statements. Not technically speaking, it's like ordering a burger combo. If you order a burger combo, then you get some fries. However, in addition to the web-based application, it also runs on iOS and Android. This was originally launched in 2011, which was five to 6 years ago, and IFT renamed their original application to IF and released a new suite of apps called Do, which lets users create shortcut applications. As of 2015, IFT users created about 20 million recipes or applets each day. Talking about the features, IFT employs the following concepts. Services. Services are the basic building blocks of IFT. They mainly describe a series of data from a certain web service such as YouTube or eBay. Services can also describe actions controlled with certain APIs like SMS. Sometimes they can represent information in terms of weather or stocks. Triggers are this part of an applet. They are the items that trigger the action. For example, from an RSS feed, you can receive a notification based on a keyword or a phrase. Actions are that part of an applet. They are the output that results from the input of the trigger. Applets are the predicates made from triggers and action. For example, if you like a picture in Instagram, an IFT app can send the photo of your Dropbox account. Ingredients are basic data available from a trigger, from the email trigger, for example, subject, body, attachment, receive date, and sender's address. I am in the home page of the website. This app is also available on the website and also in iOS and Android too. So let me have a look at what's in. So you have some predefined applets which are very useful. You can see they are for Android, iOS, and all the applet collections. Let us have a look at some of the predefined applets before we go and create an applet ourselves. So how do you use an applet? Suppose here, before going to sleep, get the weather for the next day. This applet can be just turned on and you can get the update. So there are more applets which are useful, such as you can get an hourly notification to drink a glass of water. Let me turn on. All it will do is access. It will just need your access permission and your time zone. So I'm just giving random date and it will connect the date and time and it will give me an update next time. Let us look at some more. It's also asking me to choose a channel, how to connect it, how do you want an update. This is the target of the site, and I can just choose an phone call. and I can go ahead and connect my Android device. So the device connection is done. Now if you want to go ahead and create your own applet, you can just go to my applets, and these are some of the applets which I've already created, and you can just click on new applet. So this is the logical connection here. If this, then that. Here, this is the activity we are going to choose. You can search any services. For example, I'll be searching location. I can just choose a service. If I enter an area, exit an area, or enter or exit an area. So if I enter an area, so it's detecting my current location. It'll just it's creating a ticker there. And if location, then what do I want to do? I just want to send an SMS. So I'll just give the phone number where I want to send my SMS. Let me enter the PIN. So I can just send an SMS of that I've reached the place I entered and the area. It can just send me an SMS, and if you enter the area, it works. I can just review this applet and I can just finish. This can be used whenever. I can just send a message to my mom that I've reached my home. Now let us have a look at some of the already existing services which can be useful. So yes, here save new tags, new photos whenever you're tagged on the Facebook. I'll just enable it, turn it on, and it'll ask permission from my Facebook and Google connectivity. I'm just allowing it, and yes, okay. I'm just signing into my Gmail too. So whenever I'm tagged in Facebook, it will automatically update. So I can also give the album or whichever album I want to save. I'll just give it untitled and save it. So let me go ahead and give you what I feel are the top 10 applet services which are already inbuilt. These are in no particular order. So let's starting with weather. Yes, before I go to sleep, I want to know about the weather next day. I want to know whether I'll take a coat or an umbrella. So there are many weather services, like if it's cold tomorrow, notify me. If it's hot, but I'll just turn on before we go to sleep, get the weather next day. So I'll just turn it on, and yes. The second one would be, I have a very bad habit of losing my phone and very bad memory, so I'll use this. I mean, how most of the times I do keep my phone in silent, so whenever I lost my phone, it'll up the volume. So I'll just turn out this, and also tell my Google Assistant to up the volume and call me. This works beautifully, and this needs just the app access to the phone and my mail access and the phone number. I'll have to enter the PIN again to verify. And and here I got a call. So here I got the pin via call and I entered the pin, and yes, the service is enabled, and I can just enter a simple phrase and just set it up and save this. Continuing my forgetful nature, I would like to mute my phone at bedtime and also at work, and I'll just turn it on, and I can just give my bedtime for at 11 p.m. and for 45 minutes, and I can just save it. The applet is now active, and I would also like to unmute it when I'm off the bed. So I can unmute my Android phone ringer every morning, and I would give this at a certain time. I would give it for 8 a.m. and the volume percentage and just save it. Coming to the next service, I would love to turn my lights on automatically as I arrive home. I just have to give my Philips Hue, it has to be connected with the location there, and I can just sign up with this. And I can click on agree. I'm definitely not interested in the products right now. And the bridge. There are other home automation services. You can automatically turn your lights on at sunset, turn your lights off at sunset. Automatically, if you want to disconnect from a Bluetooth device, you can turn off from your Bluetooth device, from your Bluetooth speakers. So those were my top applet services. There are other collections in the applet services page. With the collections, you have applets for Google, Google Assistant. You can add a new to Google List. Compared to iOS and Android, there are much services in Android, and they are very useful services as you saw before, whereas in iOS there are not so many services which can enable us. Yes, you can all back up your tagged photos in the iOS photo album, use the note widget to place on do not disturb. When you take a pic in your hometown, you can add it to a specific album, but these features are not so great when compared to the Android services. Probably there is a scope of improvement here for the app connections here, and you can there's so many applets for photography too. You can have an wallpaper with the NASA's wallpaper. I'll just show you that. You also have other applets for weddings too. You can get reminders, you can get birthday reminders, you can get anniversary reminders, all of these. There are some applets for shoppers, educators, lovers, for your car, for social media, which we have seen before, and there are also some cool applets for the renters, like which we have seen before. You can, since the game season is on, you can switch to ESPN whenever your favorite game starts. If your Uber is arriving shortly, then you can have a notification show at this. I'll just turn it on for myself. So apart from that, there are many other services which I can create too, like if I want an attachment from which comes into my Gmail, I wanted to save it to Dropbox. Yes, I've connected my Gmail, and these are the triggers. So any new email in the inbox, I'll just give any new attachment in the inbox, and then that can be saved in my Dropbox or my Google Drive. So I'll just connect my Google Drive, and these attachments will be connected. I can just choose the action, upload file from URL, create, append a document, or add row to spreadsheet. It will create a new document. I can give the from address, create action, and finish. So now I have jumped on to the iOS version of the IFT app. The basic interface is mostly the same, the services are mostly the same, except that the Android services do not work on iPhone and vice versa. The iPhone services do not work on Android. So these are the applets which I've created on the desktop version, and they do show up in the mobile app. The services again are pretty much the same: iOS contacts, iOS photos. I would like to use a service. I would like to back up all the iPhone contacts to a Google document, and also I would like to back up my iOS photo screenshots into their own album. I'll just connect on this. Yep, it's connected. I would also like to save up the NASA's astronomy picture because I love astronomy, and I was talking to you before. This will be saved into my iOS album, and yes, backup new photos to iOS photos to Google Photos. I would also connect that up. It will be easy, not juggling between various folders for the photos. And the mobile app is pretty much again the same. It's also divided into genres like the website version, mobile access, music. You also have health and fit. I would like to connect my Fitbit here, and it would show up on mobile, track my nightly sleep, get a reminder notification. I would connect this. And there are also other fitness apps of whichever you use: lighting, music, the appliances, the social networks, time management and tracking. So the problem with the iOS version, which I found, is that it is not so accurate and it gets stuck sometimes. So that is the major problem which I have identified. Let us see the pros and cons of IFT. First, let us see the pros. The pros is that it's super easy to use. Even no one needs any technical background to use it. Anyone can use it. Even my mom can use it. And it's free. I mean, most apps like Pushover in Android are of the similar, but they're not free, whereas IFT is free to use. So that's a very huge advantage it is having. And the third one would be it has number of combinations, and the number of combinations which it is providing are much more, and it works seamlessly. And this also results in saving time. We can also create our own recipe if you don't want to say what you want. Again, it works seamlessly from desktop to phone because you can link your accounts. It also allows more time to visit with the fans of your blog, and it has obviously more number of combinations. So these are the pros of IFT. Again, a very simple interface which has gained so much popularity, and the ease of use, it's excellent. Now let us have a look at some of the cons of IFT. Double posting. Yes, you can go crazy and end up double posting because you have linked all your accounts. And be careful of the hashtags, like anyone's photo with your specified tag will trigger the recipe and spread across the media. I mean, I have experienced that. And yes, many channels and actions can be useless, like the Vimo. If you're not having any Vimo device in your house, we can end up wasting it, and they can be absolute trash for us. But yes, as the caption says, wherever there is gold, there will be the same amount of trash. So we'll have to filter out that. And finally, the iOS version is a sad emoji. I mean, it still has a lot of scope for development. It is not as good. The iOS does not have as good as the Android. You cannot turn off your device, or you cannot find your phone. You cannot find your iPhone, whereas you can find your Android phone. So yes, these are some of the cons of IFT, but I think the pros have it. The pros have an edge over it, and it's a beautiful app and it's so multi-purpose. So thank you for tuning into this video and having a look, and enjoy IFTing.